YouTube, it's Sadie's B, aka the FX Inspirer, and I'm back with another video. Now today we're gonna do a weekly breakdown as I promised in the last video. I was supposed to upload this video yesterday, but I decided to wait to do it today so that I could get a feel of how the market was moving, with it being NFP week, FOMC coming out, so much, going on this week. Even though I'm not really a fundamental trader, I know that sometimes we can get a lot of sideways movement as we await certain things to be disclosed. So, with that being said, we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna just break down the pairs that I'm looking to get in. If I never mentioned, I like to trade late Asian, pre-London, so really between like 9 and 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, so it's about 5:48 where I am. So this is the perfect time to go ahead and, you know, get y'all this weekly outlook and my perspective so I could be ready for execution if need be come 9 o'clock. So we're gonna start off with US 30. So my screen is acting up. All right, real raw and uncut, y'all. I try to keep it very authentic. I don't know what happened with my screen, but yeah. So pretty much, with US 30, I was looking to actually go short. If you watched my previous videos, I ended up taking a loss somewhere up in here last week. And now the market has just taken off completely, right? So I was looking for price to stay under this 38,375, this purple line on my screen. But as you can see, we actually closed above. But it's getting kind of hard to know how to trade US 30 up in these areas. It's hard to know how to trade it because we don't have any other information to look at, right? We have made all-time highs. And so I was honestly expecting price to come down a little bit to show me a little more. Now I kind of broke down the higher low that I saw um hindsight in my, I think that was 2 videos ago. I think that was the 10K challenge video when I was saying how, because my bias was so fixated on shorts, I missed this potential to catch longs right here. Because honestly, that was the type of setup that I like to catch, right? Right under that low, 1 to 2, you would have pretty much been there, right? So, yeah, I ended up missing out on that trying to get short over in this area. So, as of now, like I said, it is really hard to know how to trade this when it's just nothing to compare it to. So, what I'll be waiting on is some clear direction. Um, Whether that means we come down, create another higher low, and head up, or we come down, print a lower high, then, I will be looking to get into something like this. But as of now, I'm just kind of sitting on my hands with US 30. All right, so next we got SPX 500. And pretty much the same thing. I was expecting shorts around here, around last Wednesday. When I saw this doji, I thought that we were gonna start getting some bearish momentum coming in because usually, dojis represent loss of momentum. And so I drew my fibs and it all kind of, my computer keep freezing up, y'all. Anyway, and it all kind of lined up, right? I didn't take a position just because, I wanted to see something a little more bearish than this. And good thing I didn't because it just continued to the upside. But it all looked, beautiful when I was looking at it from here without all of this. I was like, okay, cool. I could take potential shorts. I knew that it was a counter trend, but like I said, I trade off of the daily, so that still could have been, a nice little trade. And then I would have known to, be very cautious between this 50 and 61.8 where it could potentially turn back the other way. But as y'all can see, we did not get that. So just like US 30, until it shows me a clear direction, I'm not really interested in doing anything up here because I don't really want to buy at an all-time high. We go to the weekly, it's like literally we surpassed all of these highs from back in December of 2021, and I don't know what to do with with this price action. And it's honestly kind of like scary because if you just look, it's just like, bro, we've been straight bullish momentum since the end of October, right? No bear. We got one bearish candle since October. Really, November. It was October 30th, so it was right at the end of October. But no bearish movement at all, except for this one week on the 1st of January, where I actually did get short and ended up getting stopped out. But neither here nor there. Um, yeah, same scenario, but honestly, with SPX, I'm not seeing that high low structure like I was seeing on the Dow or US 30. So I would really want to see price come back to where I just had that field, which was right around here. And then if it wants to continue to go up, that looks a little better to me. Um, because you'll have high, low, high, and you see how it all kind of just connects. But if I just take all that off real quick, I don't necessarily think that I would want to get long off of this mini pullback. So I wouldn't want to take longs from here personally. Um, but that's just me. So yeah, I'm really just sitting on my hands with US 30 and SPX for now. But I will keep you guys updated on, if I end up getting in either of those positions. All right, y'all. So my bad. I had to cut the recording because my charts were just freak. See, y'all saw that, right? My charts keep freezing up. But on to Japan 225. So this is one that I actually think I will be getting in a few hours. Um, so you will see this on the prop firm videos. Let's just get right. But I'm gonna go ahead and break it down now. What I'm looking for, and I'll do another breakdown when I actually get into the position if I decide to get in. But I really think that it's looking promising. So we're gonna start with the weekly actually. I just want to take y'all over here to look at this real quick. So what I saw was we had this trend line, point A, point B, and I'm looking for point C. So I guess technically you could say that this is a counter trend, but I also could be at the start of a reversal. I just won't know that until we start getting down into these areas because technically longer term, this market is still bullish because we got a high, higher low, higher high. And if we come here, that's just a higher low. We will have to break under 32.5 for me to be fully bearish in this market. And that's, quite a ways away. So as of now, I am just saying that I am in a counter trend trade. But yeah, so I saw this weekly trend line, and I usually don't use trend lines. I know that y'all probably noticed that about me, but in some cases I will. So I kind of looked at this low to this high, and I saw that this 61.8 from these lows matched up with these previous highs, right? We got resistance here, resistance, resistance. And so that's why I have my purple zone a little lower because, yes, I usually have it like this, but because the 61.8 was lining up very smooth and clean with the tops of these previous highs over here, I just made it a little smaller. So that was one thing that I was looking at. The fib was the second. So fib trend line. I ain't trying to confuse nobody. So fib trend line. And the third thing that I was watching was the way last week closed. So we tried to push above, and as you can see, we failed to do so. Remember, Wix is just an attempt to try to get above, but price did not close. It ended up closing right under this level. And actually, if we zoom in just a little bit, pretty much equal to the previous week. And so this candle right here, you may call it a shooting star, a dark cloud, um, whichever one you resonate with. Um, you know, let's just go with it. So yeah, that's what I saw on this. And if I go back to the daily, that's that 61.8 zone. We got that trend line looking nice. And what did we get up here on the daily? Left head, right shoulder. Now, I've been watching this market since last Friday, and I drew this level up here because I started to see that, you know, we were kind of halting in this area. And so I drew a fib, and I usually do not use the 38.2 unless I'm trading currency pairs, forex pairs. But in this particular scenario, I used the 38.2 and 50% zone because it lined up with the right shoulder, right? So I wanted to see if we could get back in this area. And if we could, how was price going to react? Was it going to shoot past or was it going to give me some type of bearish confirmation? And the latter is what we got. We got the bearish confirmation. Nice, strong, bearish engulfing candle, right? So that is beautiful. We got the nice engulfing. We got a lower high, right? And if we look at this engulfing candle, it took out all of these lows from January 19th. As you can see, it just closed through all of that, all the way up into yesterday, right? It took out all of these lows, everything in between here. I'll make that a different color. Y'all, I can't even change the color of the box. My laptop is going crazy right now. It's all good. Everything in between here, this one candle took out, right? So that's showing me that the bears are very strong and want to take this market down. So like I said, it all is just lining up and screaming, take me to the downside. You know what I'm saying? So how would I get into this? I would wait to see if we could get some type of retracement if we can come somewhere in between here, um, obviously I would like for it to come between the 61 and the 50, but when placing limits, I can be a little more open to getting in just a little early, um, so that I don't risk missing the trade, right? So I would be looking somewhere in between the zone. If we can come up, then my entry will look a little something like this. And I'm taking it down. Well, my 2.5 first, always. And then my second take profit will be the top of the zone. So this is exactly what I'm looking for. And like I said, if I take this trade, you guys will see it in the next video. So let's move on. We got Euro Chrome, which I talked about how I got stopped out at break even when I honestly should have had my stop under the previous higher low. If you see, we was just making higher lows here. But I put my stop loss somewhere here, or it was either here. It was somewhere in between there when it should have been under here, right? Because anything above here is still valid to get pulled back into. So just keep that in mind. But we did get a nice bearish engulfing. And so what I would like to potentially see is if we could come back just a little bit more, show me some type of rejection, get my long position in the middle of the zone. Like I said, a buy limit. I will put my stop right under these lows, or maybe right at those. And boom. So that is also another potential for me. And if I do take it, y'all already know y'all will see it in the prop firm videos. Now let's look at the weekly really quick. Still looking promising to me. Just because when I look at this area, when we were in this area, we went to the upside. When we were in this area again, we broke, retested. As you can see, if I pull it over, we broke, retest, and we continue to the upside. And now we are kind of back in the same area. And so I'm looking for something similar to occur, right? So as you can see, it's been pretty range bound between 12 flat and 11 25, but I'm definitely looking to at least take it to 11.5 flat. And if I take my fibs from the lows to the high on the weekly, we are still respecting this 50 and 61.8. Tried to get under it, but we kind of failing to go beneath it. Now I know that this candle right here can be concerning, but I think I'm kind of confident because it's an inside bar that we continue on with the overall direction that I was looking forward to go in the first place. So we shall see. And like I said, I will keep y'all updated on that. So only two pairs I'm looking to get in as of now, which was Japan 225 and Euro Chrome. Right now, GJ. Uh, I don't know. Let's go take a look at the Japanese futures market. So I am expecting GJ to go up at some point, but I don't know if I'm really ready to go long now. Because if I take my field from the high to the low, my 61.8, as you can see, it's just been kind of ranging um, in this area right here. So I would like to see it come up just a little more, even if it don't come all the way to 61.8. If it can get between the 38.2 and the 50, I will look to take loans on GJ. But as of now, it's just kind of consolidating, not really moving. But my overall target is for it to get down, is to get down to this level where we had these previous areas of support, right? Big bounce, big bounce. I'm looking for a third bounce. But back to GJ. Um, yeah, so it's pretty much doing the same thing as the Japanese futures market. It's just kind of consolidating. I really wish I could change the color of my boxes. I'm not gonna hold this. Kind of driving me a little bit. But yeah, so not too much there. It's something that I'm keeping an eye on, but I'm not really pressed to just get in it today or maybe even anytime this week. Um, but I just wanted to show y'all my bias that I was looking for longs. If I went low to high, this is the 61.8 area. So if we can come down a little more, and even if we just kind of, play in this area before going up, I can see that being a possibility. I'm not really looking to short GJ, but I'm not particularly long at this moment. So y'all can keep an eye on this level, um, and see if it may be interest to you because I'm looking for GJ to get to 190 flat at some point, either this week or next week sometime. Um, but we'll see. For even the next 2 weeks, we'll see. I don't know how long price want to play around here, but I definitely, like I said, don't believe that GJ is going down right now. But it could, because if it starts to break this area and break under 185, then I'm definitely looking for shorts. Like I'm just gonna react with what the market tell me, you know. So, but as of now, what I'm speculating is longs. So that's what I'm looking for. It's really that. It can be that simple. I don't want to complicate trading. I try to keep it as simple as possible. So the DAX, um, honestly, we made new highs on the DAX as well. We go over to the weekly. Not really tradable for me, honestly, in these areas. We just kind of consolidating between 165 and 17 flat. So I don't know. I don't really like this. I'm not gonna say I don't like it, but if we can see some type of bearish reaction and then some type of lower high, then I would be more interested to potentially take this market short. But as of now, I'm not really seeing much of anything. But yeah, like if we do start rejecting in this area, I will be looking for some type of targets down into this zone long term. All right, so EJ, same story as GJ. We just looked at the futures market, and it's just pretty much consolidating. So I'm not necessarily short on the yen crosses, but um, it's hard to really get into them right now when the Japanese stock market is consolidating and not really going in one direction or another. So I'm just gonna let the yen crosses play out, because if it just wants to consolidate here before it's shooting back up, that's cool with me. But I'm not necessarily short, and I'm not like necessarily long in this particular moment. I am long overall, but right now it's kind of hard to say that that's where it's going, because I don't really know the direction of the Japanese futures market. So I'm sitting on my hands. Not really too much to say. My bias is definitely, if I had to choose, like right now, I would definitely say long. And I'm looking for it to get to 162.5 or either 165 flat, long term. But yeah, it doesn't look ready right now. But if I get in it at some point at the end of this week or next week, I will let you guys know. Bitcoin, um, I don't know. I don't really have too much to say about Bitcoin. It's looking like we kind of getting inverted head and shoulders here. And if I take this vertical line, it looked like we could potentially mirror this move. And if I just take, actually, let me draw it all the way out and then take the candlesticks off so y'all can see kind of what I'm seeing here. So I think that we could potentially be trying to mirror what happened on the left. So if I had to choose where I think Bitcoin is going right now, I would say long. Um, but it's kind of hard for me because the weekly is so choppy. It's not really clear, in my opinion. It's just like this big consolidation here. So I would really like to see it break out of this, you know, before really just making a big decision on which way I think it would go long term. But in the short term, we could potentially see it back up to 47.5, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm just looking at it potentially mirroring the left, but not really looking to trade it right now, so I don't really have too much more to say on that one. So we can move on. So GA, I am not in this trade, but I was planning on getting in it. Ended up missing my entry. Wanted to take it down to 190 to potentially take it back up to 195. But like I said, missed where I would have wanted to get in, which was up here last Thursday. And as you can see, it's in profit as of now, about 56 pips. But um, I will be watching to see what happens when we get down to 190. So yeah, not, don't really got too much on that one either. Because like I said, I missed where I would have liked to get in. And so I just kind of sit on my hands until it get back into a zone that's reasonable for me to start looking for trades. And right now it's not really anywhere that I want to trade it. So, and I think that this is the last here. Yes. So AU, let's take a look at the DXY really quick. So honestly, I thought that we were gonna come back on this day right here and fill in this gap that we had on DXY. But as you can see, we did not fill it in. And now we're kind of back in this situation of range bound motion, right? And I understand because price is waiting to see what's going to happen towards the end of this week, really starting tomorrow, before really taking one direction or another. But in my opinion, I still see the dollar getting to 104, 105, somewhere in between that area. And so I am still short on the dollar crosses. So we look at AU, it's kind of looking like we got left head, right shoulder, somewhere up in here. If we can pull up just a little more. Drag this over. You'll see how it all will kind of line up. Yeah, we could potentially take it to 1.6. 500. So yeah, if we can come up another 60 pips or so, I would be looking to get in. You know, it'll look something like this, middle of the zone, stops above 1 to 2.5, which pretty much lines up with this right here. So that would be my bias. And it looks good to me, actually. So I will be watching AU very close if you guys want to watch it as well. And all entries will be updated in the prop firm videos once again. And that is pretty much all, y'all. I'm going to leave it to y'all. I hope that this weekly outlook was helpful. I know that, I was talking a little slow. I'm still getting into the habit of analyzing my charts and speaking at the same time. It's not really easy until you start getting accustomed and adjusted to it. So I'm still in that phase of growing. Fairly new to this YouTube game, but the more I know, the more I become consistent with the task and with the grind, that it'll get better with time. So I'm gonna love to go back and watch these videos and just see, how far I've come from speaking and executing and marking up my charts and just becoming more and more confident in front of the camera. Because I really love trading. Um, I really love what I do, and I love to help people with the craft. And I just want to see as many people win in this industry as possible. So, because we were all born to be free, and abundance is all of our birthright, regardless. Like, because we were all meant to be free, happy, living our best life. And trading is just a beautiful tool to really allow you that time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. So I hope that this was helpful once again. And yeah, we might do a midweek analysis to kind of see if any of these have played out. And if so, I will be back with that video. And until then, much love. Peace, family.